all the old footage of the International from 2023. Basically, we're all done everything that we needed to do. So now we can start with the new plan on the International. And that's basically, we're going to segment it a lot like the Mega Cab. You guys seem to like that. I'm talking body, complete, one video, steering, brakes, all that stuff, one video, getting it running, one video, all that stuff. I think it's going to work out pretty darn slick. So, what we have to do on this one is putting the body onto this, making it look like a truck again. I'm excited to see this guy turn back into a truck. It should look pretty darn slick, not going to lie. Welcome to Hi-Ho Stable Garage. Again, it might be a little bit redundant, throwing the cab on, then maybe to have to lift it up and take it off and do all that stuff, but it's been so long since we worked on this thing. I want to see this as a truck, see, oh, we have to do this, and oh, we have to do that. I think that's the best way to go about it before we paint or do anything. I think that's going to be the best way, really, at the end of the day. So what we're going to do, I'm going to flop that cab back down. We're going to bolt him back up, and we're going to put the bed back on. Again, the order might be a little skewed right now, but that's okay. We'll do it on just the carcass alone. That way, we can figure out the body. I kind of want to figure out the floor, all that kind of stuff. Figure out if we're going to change anything on that. And in order to do that, we got to flop him down. I think we're going to do a hard mount on this, but I might redesign the floor where your legs go. Even though we finished it, I might redesign just a segment of it, give us a little bit more leg room, especially now that we're no longer four-wheel drive. Either way, it's all speculative, but first things first, we have to flop this guy back down and start back where we were and put that guy back down on the ground. A couple things to do, but not bad overall. Should work out. You know, it might seem like taking 2 steps backwards to take 1 step forward, you know what I mean? In reality, we should paint this frame and do a whole bunch of stuff right now before we put the body back on, because most likely this is saying that we're going to have to take the body back off down the road, but I'm okay with that. I would rather know exactly where I stand on how everything's built, because it's been all apart, all that stuff. Figure out exactly what I want, and then we can move from there. We have good bones, but we just kind of have to figure it out as we go. So we're going to rip these 2 jack stands off, put them on the ground, and then we'll roll that cab forward and just kind of build the truck body back up. Oh, it's been a long time since these stands came off. I can tell you that one for free. A long time. It's been a year or 2. There we go. So let's lower that fella down. Try to keep the wheels kind of straight so there's no staring in them, anything like that. There you go. There. So they're all on their own weight now. Well, relatively speaking. Anyway, it's pretty good. When we roll the cab forward and stuff, it's going to hold a little bit more weight than what this guy has on him. He doesn't have a whole lot, to tell you the truth. Tie rods have a lot of play in them, considering there are none. Here comes the fun part. I wish I could say I have a plan for this one, but you guys know how I go about things. Usually just flop it down. And that's kind of what we're going to do. Yeah, that's about it, really. So either I'm going to go on this side and flop it or on that side and flop it. I think we're going to try the other side first and see if I can't flop him down back onto his frame. We know that the back rests on these 2 mounts, but other than that, he's just kind of floating around right now. So let me fiddle around a little bit. It's nice that this bed's still here. I can push off of him pretty good. Now, is this cab going to go straight? I think if I switch over to the other side and I get in the squish zone, that might be the best way for this thing before she goes. I think that's a good idea. Oh yeah, fantastic idea. Perfect idea. Couldn't be a better idea. It's going horribly. Never mind, we fixed it. I don't think he's supposed to be back that far. If I remember correctly, my rear cab mount should be more forward than that. That means I gotta walk him this way. What's a little bit of dents in your life? Alright. The idea is we're just gonna slide him down this way, catch him, you know, all that good stuff. Ooh, he's heavy. Woo! There we go. I wonder if I can still move that tire. You know, now that there's a little bit of weight on him. Oh yeah. Oh, that's funny. All right, so we got to scoot that cab up. I know that for sure. Man, this thing looks cool. It's been a long time since I've seen it in person again. I'll be excited to see it all built up. It has to move forward quite a lot, but I think we're getting in the wheelhouse anyway. It's pretty good. Try to keep my arms and all the appendages out of the squish zone here, but he has to move forward. We know that for sure. We know that for free. Oh, it's all going to plan. I think he's roughly, and I mean roughly, somewhere right there. So I think just a little bit of boot scooting. I don't know what he's stuck on. A bolt or something. Because that mount has to come all the way to the back here. I'm going to put our alignment pin. Oh, there we go. Kind of what we want. We're in the ballpark now anyway. Now, as for the bed, we do have 2 alignment bolts on the bottom that we can slide in. But I think if we can put the bed on, at least then we can kind of square the cab up on the back, and then really the end all be all will be the hood. And then our little fella, the International, will start kind of filling back together, which can't wait for that. And that's what I mean by our alignment tabs. We have 2 small alignment tabs kind of put on that, and there's 2 on this bed on the bottom side. So we should be able to roughly figure out how to slide him back on there. And then once we have the whole thing together, then we can figure out what exactly we still have to build, modify, etc. body-wise. And then we can start putting engines and all that stuff back into her. Should be pretty darn slick. Thought this was kind of neat. All the old barn dust and stuff that's been kind of accumulating must have had some moisture in it. Froze to the bottom of the cab. That's not going to come off until the until it starts to warm up in here. Okay. There we go. Flip. Now lift her up. Alright, we're sitting on it now. Getting it over the tires is the hard part. So there we go. We're doing it. Alright. Close. Just gotta go forward a bit. This guy up. Yeah, that's good. There we go. Ooh, we're real close now. It might even be there. It's hard to say. I remember that there was an aggressive rake to the back, but also it's missing 900 pounds in the front, so nice. That would make the rake a little bit accentuated. So there you go. We got the bed on. It should be roughly, allegedly, in the right spot. Now, the truck has a little bit of a rake to her. I can tell you that for free. A little bit of that Carolina squat. But there's about 900 pounds that still has to go in the front end of this. So it's going to squish it back down. I got no qualms about that. Now, let's see about putting on this front clip. You can do it with one person, but with 2 people, it's a ton easier. Plus, we won't squish it like we did the last time, so that works out. Still got a little bit of work to do to him, but let's throw him on the truck. And then we'll be set. Or I'll be set at least. Oh, 1 second. I gotta put that there. There. Just probably. As long as I can get one started. There he is. All right, so that's where we're at right now. Nothing's really lining up, but that's fine. We're just off here and there. Some things are bent from long-term storage. Now, we got to put the doors on. These are really simple. Just grab them. It's 2 bolts. Bang, 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 bang. Push them in. And then we should be roughly where we've been for the rest of the body work. Should be pretty good.
This is a SEMA 2024.
You might have to open it slightly. This one's a much more refined door at this point. And there you go, fellas. That's roughly what we had before we put it down. Don't mind the stack, just kind of hanging out there. But the doors, they no longer close. I'm sure something's bent from being long-term stored, you know what I mean? But that's roughly what we got going on. We'll do the 360 around it. I'll show you just kind of how we're going about her. Should be pretty good. So there's the front end. That's how she looks. Here's our side profile currently. Our back side profile. Our back profile. Rear back on this side. Side profile here. And as much of a side profile that we can get here. All right, so we're over to our big board here on the International 50s truck. We can now cross off, reinstall the body. That's done. And we unfortunately still have quite a lot to do. This is a great starting point to go back from, and it kind of burns that fire once again that was just kind of smoldering before on the old International build. We got quite a lot to go on this fella, but at least we have a start now. We can at least start with things. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video on the old International, and hopefully the next video will be finishing the body work on this guy. Rat rod body work, but hopefully we'll be finishing it up. That way it looks like a truck again. Should be awesome. See you guys.